up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a video, and I apologize for that, but real quick, I just wanted to give an update on this car and just talk about a few things. I just went and drove the car, and I was going to take it to a nice little spot just to give y'all like a nice overlook of the car, and then all of a sudden something weird happened when I was driving. So if I turn the key on, there's a super loud and obnoxious noise that sounds like it's coming from this speaker, if not maybe the tweeter right there also. But I was driving and it seriously scared the shit out of me. Like, I was just trying to, well, I was going to this one spot that I normally go to, but there were like so many people there, I guess because it's Sunday, and I normally don't even film on Sunday, so everybody's out and about today. But I was going to that spot and then I was leaving, and then all of a sudden that noise just comes on, and I don't know, I thought the wheel was vibrating or something. Like, I don't even know what I thought it was at first, but luckily it seems to just be the speaker is just making a funky noise. Hopefully it's not blown, but I don't know. Anyways, I just wasn't sure what the problem was, so I ended up driving the car back to the house, and now I was sitting here debating whether or not I wanted to make a video, but I guess I am. So this is the 2001 Bullitt that everybody's seen on the channel before. And for anybody who's seen my other videos, you would know that I had a 2001 Cobra, and shoot, I think the last time that I posted a video with that car was probably 3 months ago, something like that. And the last video that I had on there was talking about how I was considering selling the car. And I actually did. I ended up selling that car. I sold it to a guy in Kansas. But another thing that ended up happening was my brother got into college, and he ended up buying a newer truck. And he was able to do that because he sold me this car. So my brother ended up selling me the Bullitt that has the 03 Cobra swap in it. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about being able to own this car. As of right now, the title is still in his name, and we kind of made a deal to where whenever he's finished with college or whenever he has enough money, if he feels like buying the car back, I'm gonna let him. But that might not be for a while, and that may or may not actually happen. So for now, this is officially my car. And real quick, if you notice, the car looks a little bit different if you can't already tell. So I've worked on a few things with this car over the past month or so. If you can tell, the car is a little bit lower. So a couple of things that I ended up doing was I ended up going with a different coil spring. It had the Steeda lowering springs in it, and I ended up putting cut Cobra springs in the front and then a set of BMR springs in the back that I also cut. And then, so along with kind of changing up the springs, I also did a few other things because the front ball joints were busted, and the sway bar in-link bushings had one or two that were torn. So the bushings were torn on the sway bar in-link. So what I ended up doing was I went with the Steeda ball joint, and then I went with the Prothane sway bar in-link, and I ended up getting the ones that are a lot shorter. They work better for lowered vehicles, so the sway bar isn't, you know, angled too much. And so far it's been running and driving very well. But my only complaint so far is that on the back springs, I wasn't sure how they would ride, but when I first got them, the car had like 4 fingers worth of wheel gap. Now it's like down to 2, and they're actually kind of settling a little bit. But what I ended up doing was cutting them, and the only reason that I did that was because they are considered a linear spring. But after driving around a little bit, the ride is really, really bouncy. So what I'm probably gonna have to do is stick to my original plan that I wanted to do and get rear coilovers for the car. The only reason that I was waiting was because, you know, I didn't want to cheap out and get like super cheap coilovers, and I also didn't want to get the ones that have a slide-on sleeve, kind of like the Maximum Motorsports coilovers or UPR and stuff like that. Even though I know that UPR make an actual sleeved shock, but a lot of the ones like the Viking or the QA1, you know, those are like $600 for just the back. And then if you want the double adjustable, you know, they're even more. Actually, I think the Viking or like 700 for the double adjustable. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to do my research to try and find a good sleeved shock with a rear coilover kit. So after doing a little bit of research, I ended up stumbling upon Strange Engineering, which is a company that I've heard of before, but I never really looked into. But they make pretty decent stuff, and they make what it seems like are pretty good coilovers for a new Edge Mustang. So the reason why I think a lot of people like the Maximum Motorsports coilovers is because, you know, they swear by the Hyperco, I'm pretty sure it is, the Hyperco spring that comes with those coilovers. And after looking at the Strange Engineering ones, I found out that they come with the same kind of spring, the Hyperco. And I was able to find a sleeved rear shock for the new Edge that also has rubber bushings on the top, which is a big thing because I kind of want to keep some good ride quality. Like, I don't want to have too much noise and vibration. So it was kind of cool that I stumbled upon that. I think I can get the single adjustable for the rear for about, I think it was 530 or 500, something like that. I'm considering doing the double adjustable, but I just don't think that I'm going to need it. But as far as the front of the car goes, I mean, the front of the car rides really, really good now with the new ball joints, the sway bar end links, and I also went ahead and purchased the SVE caster camber plates. And, you know, riding on the cut Cobra springs, it actually rides pretty decent. I bought them initially to put them onto the Silver GT that I had like way back years ago, but I never ended up using them, so they've just been sitting this whole time. And, you know, the Steeda springs that were in the car originally, they just didn't give enough drop is what I'd like. I figured this would kind of be a temporary setup, but now after driving the car and seeing how it rides, I'm wanting to go coilover in the back sooner than I thought. I'll leave the front for now and then eventually end up going with the coilover kit on the front as well. But looking over the car, I'm just kind of seeing what else that I've done to it. One thing that I had done was, well, actually, I guess my brother had bought these, but we ended up putting different badges onto the car. So these badges are off of a 03 Mach 1, or I don't know if they came on all of the V6s. I'm not sure. Maybe not the 2004s, but these did come on the Mach 1s and the V6. What I ended up doing was plasti dipping the top and bottom and then leaving the pony chrome, and it actually turned out pretty good. I ended up doing it this way because I plasti dipped the whole thing, and then as I was peeling it off, I just noticed that it came off of the pony pretty easily, so I just left it like that, and I actually really like the way that it came out. One thing that I need to still do to the car as well is get a new chin spoiler. So it used to have the Magic Drift splitter on it, but since I lowered the car, the Magic Drift splitter just sits really low and it just scrapes coming in and out of the driveway. So I plan on getting a Cobra chin spoiler. I'm not in too big of a rush to get that because it doesn't look too bad without it, considering it's a black car, which also helps, but I definitely need to get one of those. I also ended up getting some black vinyl wrap for the hood. So it's kind of hard to tell, but this hood is actually painted dark Highland green. This came off of my old 2001 Bullitt. And so the reason why my brother kept this hood is because it's a factory Ford Terminator hood, and it's actually black on the underside. It's not the best paint, but it came off of a factory black Cobra. So I don't blame him for wanting to keep this hood, and I'm glad he did. But I'm gonna put some vinyl wrap on it just because I just don't want to pay to have it painted just yet. And Vivid Vinyls, they make a really good vinyl wrap that looks pretty damn close to paint. I ended up ordering that last night, should be here sometime within this week. And I'm hoping that I can put it onto the hood before next Saturday, because there's a car show going on here in Austin, and I'd like to get the hood black before I go to that. I actually just thought of something to do to this thing, so I need to figure out how to get the hood latch to shut better. I think what I'm going to do is do the hood latch mod that, you know, a lot of new Edges do. I've seen it done on Danny Johnson's YouTube channel and a few others, but they basically put some washers underneath the bracket and it kind of raises it up just a hair so that the hood can shut easier, because every single time I try and shut this thing, I have to slam it like super hard. And I didn't nick the bumper here, but I can see that there's a mark where maybe the hood hit it once or twice. I have to slam it so hard and it's just so annoying, and I feel like I'm breaking something. I guess I'm gonna work on the hood latch. I'm gonna work on getting that speaker issue fixed. So I think I'm gonna end the video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little update. Definitely look out for my next videos that I'm gonna be posting, because I'm gonna start ordering parts for this thing and start doing some crazy things to it. So if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to. I'll catch you guys in the next one.